the Delhi LG has approved a plea against the Supreme Court order. The Delhi LG, VK Saxena, has approved the filing of a review petition in the Supreme Court against its decision of acquitting the 3 accused who were earlier convicted and awarded the death sentence by the trial court and High Court of Delhi for the gruesome rape and murder of a 19-year-old girl. And remember, this took place on 9th February 2012 at Chhawla-Rape-Murder, Delhi. So he has also approved, the LG has also approved the appointment of Tushar Mehta, the Solicitor General, and Aishwarya Bhatti, the additional SG, to represent the case before the Supreme Court. Now, remember, the release of 2 of the 3 prisoners from Rohini jail recently, following the Supreme Court's acquittal, had prompted the parents of the murdered girl to seek police protection out of fear. And right now, what has happened is that the Delhi LG has approved the filing of a review petition in the Supreme Court against the decision to acquit the 3 accused. Now, remember, they had been sentenced to death, but this was overturned and the 3 were in fact acquitted for their involvement in the 2012 rape and murder of the 19-year-old. This is the latest information that we're getting when it comes to the Chhawla murder and rape case. Now, remember, initially, what had happened is that the Supreme Court had actually acquitted the 3 accused because what they said is that there was not enough evidence in the prosecutor's case against the 3 accused. I believe they hadn't even spoken to the main accused when it came to this case. Now, we will be connecting with a colleague to get you more details on this, but for right now, this is the latest development when it comes to the Chhawla rape and murder case. We're now being connected to our senior editor, Pallavi Ghosh, to get us more details. Pallavi, can you once more remind us about why exactly these 3 accused in the Chhawla murder and rape case had been acquitted in the first place?
So this was a very gruesome murder which we know took place in Haryana, and in that case, the body of the girl was also found in a very, very dilapidated state. And in fact, people would compare it to the gruesome Nirbhaya rape and murder case as well. Well, when the Supreme Court heard this petition, the Supreme Court let them off by saying that there's no sufficient proof that against the 3 accused, and in fact, no identification of the accused was also being made. And therefore, these grounds of insufficient evidence, the 3 of the accused were let off. But there has been substantial outrage on that. It was unacceptable. There were candlelight marches which were carried on, and as a result of which now the LG's office, sources close to LG's office, say that they have agreed to a review petition and they filed an appeal in the Supreme Court against the verdict of the Supreme Court that there should be a relook done into the case and justice should be given out.
Absolutely. But considering that the Supreme Court had actually acquitted the 3 accused, do you think it's likely that a review petition will change anything? Because the Supreme Court had acquitted them because there was not enough proof, as you mentioned.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And there's not really much of a precedence where in these cases of verdicts being passed by the Supreme Court, there has been a complete overturn. But we also do understand there's a substantial amount of public perception, media pressure, and people clamoring for justice. I mean, anyone who covered the case also saw the manner in which the body was killed and she was disposed of. And they are saying that there is hardcore evidence. It should not be just the legal procedure, but also has to ensure that justice has been done. But more than that, I think it's also kind of a perception. The perception also the government would want to send out that we are not going to let go of the issue easily. We do want to ensure that there is a scope for further appeal, there is a scope for giving of justice, and hence this approval of a review petition.
All right, Pallavi, thank you for that information. I do want you to stay with us because we're also being joined by CNN News 18's Anvit Srivastav to get us more details. Anvit, what I wanted to ask you was, is there any legal precedent when it comes to a situation like this?
Yes, see, now the LG has given the permission for review, and we are expecting that the lawyers who had been representing this woman in this entire case, Kiran Negi, she will.
All right, Anvit, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you. We are now being